Guess who's back? Back again. Batman's back. Tell a friend. Fan Showdown, Season 2, Episode 4. Artsy. Yes, I gave this one a title. I don't know why. It just felt right, because regardless of how well today's fans do, they're gonna look good doing it. That being said though, let's start with the ugliest one of the bunch. This guy. I mean, in any other video, this would not be a bad looking fan. It's actually, quite interesting, but, you'll see. Stagger Blade was created by Azar. I don't think he actually goes by that name. He just didn't sign his email. So because he didn't sign it, I seen that was the start of his email address. I thought it was kind of funny. So that's his name now. Azar. Now, although I called this fan ugly, it's actually pretty sweet. When you look at it head on, it just looks like a fan comprised of a million tiny blades. But it isn't until you kind of move your head to the side that you notice that there's more than meets the eye. The Stagger Blade is actually 9 blades. It's a 9-blade fan, but then those blades are broken into 4 blades, so it's actually a 36-blade fan whose blades are then offset by 40 degrees.
Throughout a 360-degree circumference of the fan disc. Not only that, the pattern is then repeated and then translated downwards 3.83 millimeters 4 times, so it gets kind of confusing, but what you get is
this. Which I'm actually pretty impressed with. I'm impressed that I got it to print, to say the least, and then after I printed it, I'm glad I got it to stay in one piece, removing the support material. Azar did say that while he was designing this fan, he was conscious that it was going to need to be 3D printed in the end, and he tried to do his best to make sure that he designed it in a way that made it easy for me to remove the support material, and to that I said thank you. It still wasn't easy, but we got her done. Next up is the Golden Lily by Volt. Volt actually sent me 3 models. 2 of them actually looked like actual attempts to make like a high performance fan. The third he said was more of a joke than anything else, but the problem is that Volt sent me 3 fans and then gave me the option to pick which one to print. And I like jokes. The Golden Lily is comprised of an 11-blade fan at the base, and then you got the golden ratio impeller on top. It actually printed pretty easily, and it did take about 11 hours to print, but the result is mesmerizing. This filament is perfect for this design. It's actually my favorite filament I've used so far. It's called Galaxy Ruby Red, and I'll leave a link in the description below, but it just looks beautiful. Hard to tell how it'll perform, but I'm getting some real tulip vibes from it, if you know what I mean, if you've seen that episode, the old tulip. Now next up, we got a real work of art. This is the flower. And it was created by Juan, and he said his plan for this was that he wanted to take inspiration from nature and create something with a pattern in it that he hoped would take advantage of Bernoulli's principle by accelerating the air in the center as it moved out towards the rim. If you look at his design closely, you can see that you got these larger scoops towards the center, and then they constrict down as you move towards the rim. And that tight area is actually not connected. Instead, you got about 1.5 mil of clearance, so it might work. This is one of those fans that I was talking about at the beginning where I said it might not do good. But regardless of that, it's going to look good while doing it. I mean, look at it. It's beautiful. They're all beautiful. Also, this might look like just one big fan disc, but if you look at it more closely, you can see that it's actually 5 blades, 5 really detailed blades. So A+ Juan for design alone. Now, although the flower looks sick, the next one's my personal favorite. I would go even as far to say that it's my favorite fan out of all the fans that I've tested on the Fan Showdown thus far. This is the Biohazard, and how freaking sweet is that? Tell me you would not buy this fan right now if you could, because I know I would. I mean, I might just make a whole bunch of them anyway and just build a PC around it. The Biohazard was created by Justin, and I don't even have to tell you what the inspiration was because the fan itself is the inspiration. It's a Biohazard symbol. Now, Justin did add some curve to the blades so that it actually, functions as a fan. He also added these notches in the blades because why not? Notches are sweet. And if you look at the top of the hub, he's got this cool little design in it, and I don't know what it means, but I'm glad it's there. I actually like this fan so much that I decided to add a category called Best in Show, super original, which is based on no metric at all. It's literally the fan that I think looks the coolest. So even if Justin doesn't make the board, he's gonna go He's gonna go on top of the 100,000 subscriber plaque until someone else can beat him. So there is today's Fan Showdown competitors. Let's see how they sound. First up, you got the Biohazard with a sound output of 44.6 dBA. It didn't do half bad, but as a bonus, thanks to the uneven blade spacing, the sound it did produce was actually quite pleasing. The golden ratio had a bit of vibration to deal with, but managed to come in at 47.2 dBA. The flower was a bit higher pitched and came in just below the golden lily at 46.3 dBA. And old Staggerblade was a bit of a screamer, coming in at 51.2 dBA. So in this group, Staggerblade was the loudest, followed then by, the golden lily, then the flower, and then actually the Biohazard was first. But how do they flow? Now that we've established that all of these actually function as fans, and look, sweet, how do they cool? Golden Lily came in with an average temperature of 80.2 at a room temperature of 20.8, giving it a delta of 59.4. Staggerblade came in with an average temperature of 78.8 at a room temperature of 20.7, giving it a delta of 58.1. The flower finished with an average temperature of 79.3 at a room temperature of 20.5, giving it a delta of 58.8. And Biohazard finished with an average temperature of 78.4 at a room temperature of 21, giving it a delta of 57.4. Putting Biohazard in first, Staggerblade in second, Flower in third, and Golden Lily in fourth. And although Biohazard didn't make the board, like I said, you always have a place here on the plaque. Well, at least until someone beats you. But for now, you're the best thing I've ever seen as a fan. That's a weird thing to say, but it's true. It's true. But as always, thank you guys for watching and taking part in the Fan Showdown series. Literally, without you guys, this is not possible. I mean, look at what you guys created. It's actually amazing. It blows my mind every time I open my email and see hundreds and hundreds of emails from you guys of the craziest fan designs you've ever seen. Like, you would never see this, any company like make a fan like this, but here it is. It exists, and it exists because somebody out there, Justin, sat down, took the time, created it, and now we got it. So if you want to take part in the Fan Showdown, make sure to head over to my Thingiverse account to see like the information on dimensions and stuff. And then after that, make sure to send me at least an STL file to thefanshowdown@gmail.com email address, and maybe you'll be next.